This is just going to be an incredibly short little clip which is intended to go in addition with my cleaning your airbrush after a spraying session video. That's not to say after every single paint use. If you're spraying several paints through, then a flush through in between until it sprays clear, and a good black flush is adequate between changing your paints, although it's always advisable to go from light to dark, and preferably not to mix metallics or to do metallics latterly, even if it's a paler metallic than the solid colour that you were spraying before, because metallic pigments have a habit of hanging around in places where you don't want them until you've had a thorough clean. However, in my original video, what we do, as you can see, the airbrush is stripped down, the cheap Chinese airbrush that was in the original video that I showed you, because I've just been spraying the Mark 1 Escort 32nd scale Airfix kit that I am videoing at the moment. In the original video, I stripped this down, cleaned the inside of the bowl and the tip with a cotton bud, and then cleaned the needle and the various components which I've got sitting in here, soaking away in white spirit. What I've been doing since then for some time now is using one of these. This is a cheap 0.6mm interdental brush. Now these are designed to stick between your teeth and give them a good clean in lieu of dental floss, I guess. But they are a perfect size for the paint tunnel on this and the Iwata that I use, and they fit down here. Now I just wanted to add this little video as an extra. All I do is, you can't see this because I'm out of shot, but what I do here is I dip this in some white spirit, or IPA if I'm spraying acrylic, so you can see that the brushes, well, hopefully you can, probably not actually, but the brush section essentially is laden with white spirit. It's trapped in there. Then what you do is, tilting this back, is just shove the brush through and give it a good scrub, and then give it a twizzle. And because of the spiral nylon brushes, the bristles on there, what will happen if you give it a twizzle one way and the other is it will clean out the threads that are inside this that your nozzle screws into. What you can then do is give that a bit of a shake and dab this on a bit of clean paper, and you can see if there's any residue of paint on there. That looks fairly clean. There's a little hint of blue there, so I'm going to run that through once again, and then once it comes out clean, essentially dry that off, pop that to one side, and save it for the next one. These wear incredibly well, by the way. This is something like the second or third one that I've actually taken out of the packet. These are supermarket own brand ones, Tesco maybe, I can't remember, it's so long since I bought them. So you don't need the expensive ones. You don't want ones with rubber bristles like some of them are. You want the ones with the nylon bristles on the metal, twisty metal bit. And they stand up to cellulose thinners quite well. I've dipped them in cellulose and scrubbed them out a time or two with that. And I think this is something like the third one that I've taken out of the packet since I bought them. So that's got to be a good couple of years. And I think there's a packet of 6 or something, so they're very cheap, just £2 or £3 I think, and they'll last you a good while, and they're perfect for scrubbing out this little tube, feed tube, that comes from your paint cup to your nozzle. That's it essentially. It's a quick little tip for cleaning out this tube that goes from here to here, and if you did find that useful, pop and check my How to Clean Your Airbrush After Enamel and Acrylic Paint Use if you haven't already. The procedure is the same regardless of the paint type. Same goes for cellulose based, for that matter, lacquer paints for our US viewers. The only difference is the material that you use to clean it. Obviously you've got isopropyl alcohol for acrylic paints, white spirit that I use for enamel paint, and cellulose thinners or lacquer thinner for the lacquer based stuff. And as I say, this gives the tube, which is the hardest bit to get to. Everything else is quite easily accessible. This gives that a good clean, and then coupled with the brush that you have a twiddle through the nozzle, you end up with a spotlessly clean airbrush. So I hope this was useful. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you in the next video.